Right then, this is a quick walk around video, and this is for a gorgeous Lexus. This is an IS250, and it's the SEL model, so top of the range car. Sorry, just getting attacked by a wasp. Finished in what I think is the nicest colour combination of all. You've got this gorgeous red mica exterior with the oak and beige interior. It really goes well beautifully together. Just 48,000 miles on the clock. Fitted with the really sought after option of the multimedia pack with the sat nav. Also comes with this really rather nice private plate, all as part of the sale of the car, and it is in beautiful condition. Front of the car is really clean. The lights and lenses are clear without any obvious cracks or condensation in them. Bonnet, extraordinary for a car. It's a 2007 car, and it's just in beautiful condition. Near side, passenger side, I can't see an indentation that jumps out at me at all. You come around the back of the car, again, all very nice. I could do with a new little reflector there. They're only reflectors. You can get them off eBay for next to nothing if needs be. If I can find one or get one, I will, but it's neither here nor there. Back bumper generally really nice, just the odd little tone touching. It's been done over the years, but nothing that detracts from the car in any way. Offside again, really lovely and clean and tidy. It really is a quite exceptional car, and it needs to be seen in the flesh because the videos never do justice to how nice this colour looks, because it is stunning. It is, as I said, absolutely beautiful condition. Coming to the boot area, big boots on the car. The spec of a Lexus, absolutely beautifully finished in there as well. Just coming inside, you've got this absolutely gorgeous interior, which is in simply beautiful condition. Coming to the front on the passenger side, again, all wonderfully clean and tidy. Obviously matching Lexus over mats there. Passenger seat just looks like it's hardly ever been sat on. Let's finally come to the driver's side. Door card again, beautifully clean. Footwell areas again, very clean and tidy. The driver's seat again in fantastic condition. So inside the car now, as always, the engine's running this section, so the dash can be seen illuminated. Dashboard just looks absolutely is new. It's in beautiful condition. Sat nav, as you can see, working perfectly. Pop the car into reverse. You've got that lovely clear parking camera. All forms part of the multimedia pack, as does the Mark Levinson stereo. But it is a beautiful, beautiful car. You come across the main dash binnacle, really neatly displayed. You see there, 48,259 miles, and the only light showing is for low fuel. Finally, just to show you, owner's manual pack and lock and wheel nut key, all here and present with the car. Right then, this is a quick road test video, and this is for a lovely, lovely car. This is a Lexus IS250, and it's the SEL model. This car is registered on a private plate which comes with the vehicle, L60KAG, and with a very low mileage of just 48,251 recorded. The reason for all of our videos, and actually especially this road test section, is basically to ensure that if anyone's online, they actually get to see the cars for advertising and operation. And the reason we feel it's important is because, like so many people out there, we've been to see cars which have looked absolutely fine in photographs and descriptions, but then only to get there and find out when you drive it, it's got an obvious fault that shows up whilst driving the vehicle. So that's the purpose of the video. We also do it on these lovely quiet country roads in this beautiful part of Gloucestershire. Literally just a hop, skip and jump from the motorway, so it's ever so easy to get to. This actually forms part of the road test route we take our customers on, by the way. And the reason for that is hopefully then it'll be representative of what you'd feel yourself should you be offered a test drive in the car. So coming to the car, clearly with such a low mileage and with the astonishing service history attached to the vehicle, you'd expect the car to be good and drive well, and it doesn't disappoint in any way. So for those who don't want to listen to anything more, you can switch off now, because I can't find anything wrong with it at all. It drives absolutely beautifully. But as I always do, just to go through the car one by one, starting with the engine of the vehicle, which is push button start on the car. The car starts instantly, it settles to a smooth, even idle. Temperature gauge running at just under a half, which is exactly where it's meant to be on one of these cars, and it's been running for some time now. But what a glorious, glorious engine. It's so smooth and so quiet. It's everything. If you think of Lexus, you'd think of this engine. It's just so silky. It's so seamless. It's just a really pleasant engine to use day in, day out. It's got plenty of guts, but when it does open its lungs and revs up, it does with that lovely V6 sweet-edged howl that comes with them. Not that you generally will experience that, because most of the people who drive these cars will drive as I am now, just very sedately. But it's there, it's available, it's accessible, and as with pretty much every Lexus, you've got engine in reliability and longevity. They are incredibly tough and durable cars, but in an age of small capacity, big turboed cars, which personally I don't like, they're just so generally the 4 cylinders, they come a bit drony. This is the opposite of that. Is something that those that still have that kind of enthusiasm for motoring and engineering in them, it's blessed relief from all of those. I think I said that there's no warning lights on the dashboard relating to the engine or any other part of the car. I probably said that, but if I didn't, I do apologise. Engine then feeds through into the auto gearbox, typical Lexus gearbox, absolutely slick and smooth. It's beautifully done. Obviously the gear ratios have been chosen to get the best out of the car in terms of both fuel economy and performance. Obviously it's a compromise between the two, quite clearly. It does also give the option with these gearboxes. You've got a sequential side of the gearbox, which works very well in this car, and also in a tactile way is really nice to use. Sometimes you have these things, they're a bit clunky and a bit cheap feeling, but this one, just pull the gear lever to the right. I'm now in sort of sequential mode. It's selected me, it's matched the forward speed, so it's not going to over rev the engine. If I want to go up the gearbox, just nudge it forward. If I want to come down the gearbox, pull it back, or I can use the paddles, right hand one for going up the gearbox, left hand one to going down. So pull that one to go up the gears, that one to come back down again, accelerate. It's just really, really nicely done, but it all feels nice to use, and it's accessible, and it's got merit. If you're overtaking, you don't want the gearbox to change up, you can do it all yourself and control it, and it all working absolutely perfectly. And like the engine, again, a reputation for lasting hundreds of thousands of miles, notwithstanding reputation, of course, on all automatic gearboxes you should do the same thing, and that's just to make sure that the gear shifts on the move are in fact smooth, and they are perfect in that sense. But also when you select drive and reverse from neutral stationary, there's no kind of clunks or thunks in engagement. Again, in every respect, it's absolutely perfect. So coming to the chassis, obviously helped by the fact that it's rear wheel drive. You've got this lovely power steering setup, and for me, chassis are all about what suits you, because it's, some will say, like a 3 Series BMW is a lovely car, but I find them too firm. But if you want absolute out-and-out handling, you'd go for 3 Series. But these handle brilliantly well. As I said, you've got this lovely steering, which is set up to give you confidence in the car. It's quick enough to be direct and accurate, but it's heavy enough and to give you confidence at all speeds. It doesn't become unsettled or nervous in any way. It's just really nicely done, and it feels absolutely rock solid on the road, the car. It also tracks absolutely dead straight, going at the legal limit now. There's no vibrations at all coming through the steering either. The ride is superbly done. The damping's brilliant on the car. It's kind of firm enough to give you body control, but not so much so that when you go over these bumps, which this car deals with really well by comparison to some of its competitors. I've always said that, come back to kind of the 3 Series thing, its natural competitors will be things like the 3 Series, the C-Class, Audi A4, and perhaps a Volvo. But for me, and again, this is a personal thing, I just want, a degree of comfort, but a car that can also be agile as well. And I think this fits in that slot brilliantly well. You can cover huge distances, but when you're in the mood or reward, I find the C-Class just a little bit sort of slow-witted. It's very comfortable, but there's no kind of sort of sportiness in any way to it. The A4 I've never sort of got. I mean, it's a fine car in its own right, but I've just found it's sort of completely one-dimensional, sort of nose-heavy design. But this, I just think, it's just got a really nice balance to the car. There's also, by the way, no rattles or clonks coming from underneath the car, and no, in terms of suspension, which is the kind of things I'm looking out for. Brakes, by the way, just going to go around the corner. Just give them a good shove. Really good brake pedal on the car. No pulsing, no vibrations coming back through the pedal at all. So all in fine order. And finally, to come inside the car, I mean, it's not been cleaned yet, hardly needs it because it's in lovely condition, and I love this interior because, for lots of reasons, it first of all is sensationally built, and they are, it does feel like a car that actually lives up to the hype. It is crafted, it's really well made for what is effectively a mass production car. The quality of the trim, build, the materials used, brilliantly done. How it's assembled is second to none in its class. There's nothing built as well as these. Some can feel more heavily built rather, but the reality is years will determine how well built a car is, and this is where these stand up incredibly well. But it's also a lovely place to sit. You've got really good visibility. You feel very much kind of in control of the car. It's, in an age where we've got these big screens up here which are sort of massively overcomplicated and distracting, in my opinion, and this is a blessed relief. You got it. This car, obviously, you probably know from the advert, benefits from this multimedia pack, which is a big and hugely sought after option on the car. So you got the sat nav there, big rear parking camera when you select reverse. You've got the Mark Levinson stereo, which is sensational. So if you like your music, you'll love it because the car's so quiet. You can hear the tiny details in music, which is sensational. The sound reproduction is brilliant. You get the hands-free, comes with it as well. It's all working perfectly, but it's all incredibly easy to use. The screen's got separate buttons, not having to press buttons on the screen unnecessarily. You do have to on occasion, but it's blissfully easy to use. Air conditioning's pumping out absolutely ice cold air. You've got dual zones, you can have different temperatures side to side as well. Heated and cooled seats in the car, again, all working exactly as they should. Checked those earlier. But it's just the fit and finish and the feel inside the car. It's got, a little bit of wood down here, possibly wood, possibly not, but it actually fits rather nicely in the car. It's not overly done. It does make the car feel kind of, it separates it from other cars in its class. The tactile feel of every switch is beautifully damped and made. They might seem unimportant, but when you're driving the car day in, day out, it does make a difference if you've got something that's really cheap feeling, a bit rickety in hand, but nothing in this car. It's just beautifully done in that sense. And then you've just got the things like, the dash, sort of little binnacle layout for your instrument gauge is there. Again, it's just so wonderfully simple, but the detailing is fantastic. When you look at it more closely, you just look at it, you take the information in, but it's simple, legible, and beautifully presented. Then this lovely sort of quite small diameter leather-bound steering wheel, which, like the rest of the car, shows virtually no wear. It's a sensational car in absolutely lovely condition, and it drives faultlessly. I am biased because I truly love these cars. I think they are fantastic cars in their own right, but that's not to get away from the fact that, you know, I'm just picking up on any issues that can find or could find, of which there's none at all. If you've got any questions, don't hesitate to give us a call.